Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Giant Size X-Men, Emma Frost, Jean Grey, issue number one shot. I was rather disappointed with this one, and I was really looking forward to it. Anyway, guys, let's get talking about who made the comic book, and then we'll break into the book itself. This one will probably be short. Okay, so Jonathan Hickman's story and words, though there weren't very many words in here at all. Russell Dauterman's story and art, and he pretty much, took care of the entire story. Matthew Wilson did the color art, VC's Clayton Cowles on letters, Tom Mueller on design, cover art by Russell Dauterman, and a couple of whatever variant covers, Nick Russell on production, head of X's, Jonathan Hickman. This issue is called Into the Storm, and X-Men were created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So anyway, this issue is called Giant Size X-Men, Jean Grey, Emma Frost. Except that the real focus here is on Storm. So apparently at one point the X-Men were fighting against Okris and the Children of the Vault. We remember when they escaped and everything like that. A little something happened with Storm and it was like, oh no, and then we just forgot about it, right? Well, apparently Hickman didn't forget about it, and he decided to make a book all about that here, featuring Jean Grey, Emma Frost. Honestly, to me, the coolest thing that happened here was a further example of Jean sharing both Logan and Scott. I'm just saying, there was some kissing. It's like, that's really weird, man. That's a little weird. Anyway, so it's like, her main squeeze is Scott, and her side dude is Logan. Honestly, I don't think Logan minds too much. And as far as Scott, I don't think he's got much to say. So anyway, this was basically, it's them going into the room. For the sake of conversation, I'll show you this is what was written in there. There we go. That's what was written on there. And then everything else is gone. It's just that. So that's, this book made me go and start refreshing myself in Krakoan so I could read what the heck this thing said. I swear to God, man. Like, I sat here and I'm like, seriously? Silence? Psychic reading? Psychic rescue and process? Like, come on, man. That's what you give me? That's what you give me. You make me go out and break out my Krakoan for this nonsense. I was actually genuinely bothered by this. Because there wasn't much written in this story. Everything was just the silence of Jean and Emma trying to figure out what's wrong with Storm because she's hurt and she started bleeding from her nose. And I'm not going to tell you the ending of the book because that's not what I do. But like, you literally had an entire book that was supposed to be featuring Emma and Jean. And I swear to God, in my head I'm thinking, okay, these two are going to try and figure out their relationship with Scott. Because they're both alive at the same time. They're both, dealing with the whole, hey, we're all here and we're all supposed to be making babies, right? And we were all joking around about, Scott can be hitting on both of them. I'm just saying. Turns out it went a completely different way. Didn't expect that. But hey, I wouldn't say no to Jean. And I'm literally expecting it's going to be something like that. But no, instead, this whole book is somehow about Storm. Please tell me if that happens. And I was surprised. I was shocked. Because when I opened up the book and it's like, oh, psychic rescue. And they start talking, this whole thing, they're just talking about Storm. I'm thinking, well, why is it called Emma and Jean? Because they're the ones doing the rescuing? You remember the scene in the original Spider-Man movie? The one with Tobey Maguire? That one? Spider-Man, the first movie. And Green Goblin set the one house on fire. And the firefighters were all down there and was like, oh, right? Imagine if they called that, instead of calling it The Amazing Spider-Man, instead if they called it The Firefighters. It's like, oh, it's actually a Spider-Man movie, but we're going to call it The Firefighters. How confusing would that be? That's pretty much how I felt about this issue. It was not a bad issue, but you don't call it Emma and Jean. You just don't. That is not why you title a book Emma and Jean, because they go in and without any words spoken whatsoever, they're trying to rescue Storm and find out what's wrong with her. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. And you can't really call it Storm, right? Just Giant Size X-Men, whatever. Just something. Tell it in the main story. Tell it in the main X-Men comic book. This should not have existed. This should not have existed. This should have been the next issue of X-Men. And let's be realistic. Everything else is on issue 8 right now. All right, minus Wolverine that just started, and the round 2 of the Dawn of X, which is all going to start on issue 1, right? They could have literally just simply made this an X-Men book, called it X-Men, issue number 8. And just, boom, throw it in there. Because that would have worked for me. That would have 100% worked, and I could have enjoyed the story better. But y'all ever sit down and you go to take a drink of water? It's like, ooh, I could really use a nice drink of water right now. I'm thirsty. And you go to take, and you just, what the heck is this? And it's Sprite. I don't think anybody dislikes Sprite or 7-Up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you were expecting water. Your mind, your taste buds, everything. It was all expecting water. And when you taste something that many would argue tastes better than water, but you were expected water. And this is not water. You go take a second drink, oh, well, at least I know it's Sprite now. That's good. That's really good stuff. But you just spit it out because you're expecting water. Dude, I was expecting something completely different from this. You can't mess with my taste buds like that. So no, this book, hands down, this was wrong. I'm sure I would have enjoyed this a lot better if they would have titled it right or just made it X-Men issue number 8. That would not have made me mad at all. I would have bought issue 7 and 8 at the same time in the same week because issue 7 did come out this week. But this was just wrong. Anyway, guys, I'm done. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.